Homeownership can seem like a crazy, out-of-reach dream for many people. And today I want to do a little myth busting on what we think about homeownership. Is it really the American dream? Is it even right for you? When is it a mistake? You hear everywhere how crazy the housing market is. Meanwhile, your rents are skyrocketing and finding a decent place to live seems to get harder every year. Hey, I'm Matthias with eXp Realty here in Spokane, Washington, and today I'm excited to talk to you about the pros and cons of buying your first home. Over the next few weeks, I'll be taking you through my 90 days to being a homeowner challenge. So go ahead and download my guide in the description below and hit that subscribe button if you decide to follow along. Okay, let's get to it. In all likelihood, you've heard some version of the cultural narrative that buying a home is part of the American dream and is the cornerstone of wealth building. However, if you follow folks like Grant Cardone, they think homeownership is for losers and you should get rich with investing in real estate. The reality, both of these takes have some truth to them. The difference is you. What are your goals in life? I'm a homeowner and an investor, and I can say from my personal experience that there are definitely pros and cons to both. But here's the thing, they both involve buying real property and using it as a vehicle to build wealth. Okay, let's play a game. It's called Should They Keep Renting or Should They Buy? In our first scenario, John Johnson has been in his job for 3 years and he likes it, so he plans to stay for as long as he can. He has a decent credit score and a good amount of savings, and he's looking for ways to invest his money. Oh, and by the way, his rent keeps going up every year and he is over that. So what do you think? Should he keep renting or should he buy a home? If I'm the one talking to John, I'm going to connect him with one of my recommended lenders and talk to him about his long-term goals to determine if a single-family home or investing in a multifamily property is a better fit for him. Bottom line, yes, he should stop paying his landlord's mortgage and begin building equity through property ownership. Okay, next up we have Alexis Davis. She really wants to become her own landlord. She doesn't have great credit, but she does have a lot of money saved up. Alexis is working on a few different part-time jobs, and she's not sure if she's going to stay in the area. Okay, so what do you think? Should Alexis buy or should she continue to rent? I would connect Alexis with a lender to help her work on improving her credit score, and I also would probably suggest that she waits until she's ready to plant down some roots before she invests in property. Okay, lastly we have Sam Smith. Sam makes great money in a job she loves and has stellar credit. She knows that owning property is a great way to build wealth, but she travels like 80% of the time for work. Should Sam buy or should she keep renting? I'd recommend in this case that she consider investing in multifamily property. I'd connect her with my recommended property manager to partner with because having someone to call when something goes wrong with your property while you're on the road is an amazing convenience. This way she gets the best of both worlds, making money in her sleep while her rental property appreciates and the tenants more or less take care of her mortgage without the hassle of worrying about a home that she's rarely in anyway. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty pros and cons of owning property. I'm going to assume for this video that you're here because you're curious about buying a home, not about buying your first rental property. I will be making a video for investors soon, and when I do, it'll go here. So if that's you, just give me a call and we can talk through it in the meantime. Okay, so the benefits of buying. Let's see, you get the benefit of building equity in your home. This means that every time you pay your mortgage, you own your home a little more. Second, if you pay your mortgage on time, your credit's going to continue to build. Third, there are some tax savings that can happen with owning a home, but I'll tell you that unless you itemize your taxes, this probably doesn't apply to you. Fourth, you do get to have full control over your home environment. Do you want to paint or get loads of pets? You do you, it's your home now. And the last benefit I want to point out is appreciation. Well-maintained homes generally get more valuable over time. For instance, if you had bought this sweet little new construction home in the last housing bubble right before the crash in 2008, while your home value would have almost immediately taken a dive because of the sketchy shenanigans from the powers that be, today your home would be worth about $390,000. That is a cool $100,000, my friends, that you got just from living in the home. Now, I do want to put a caveat here that to get those gains, you would have had to stay in your home. So people who had to move like a year or two after the housing bubble did end up upside down, or they maybe had a crazy mortgage with an adjustable interest rate that priced them right out of their home. But those are known issues that we now have a good handle on and know how to manage. Now let's talk cons, because there are lots of reasons not to buy. The first reason is it's expensive. There's a lot of upfront costs to buying a home. Even if you're utilizing the Washington State down payment assistance, you still have to come out of pocket for some of your closing costs. The second negative is that the process is a lot more complex than renting. And if your realtor or lender that you've partnered up with are, banana brains, there are things that can go wrong. The third negative is that property taxes and HOA fees are forever. You never really get to free and clear, even when your mortgage is paid off. Fourth, any maintenance issues are on you. There's no landlord to call when the basement floods, my friend. And lastly, you need to be aware that this is a long-term wealth building strategy, not a get-rich-quick plan. Okay, so bottom line, whether you decide to keep renting or go live in a shoe or buy a house, it's really up to you and should be informed by your goals, needs, and priorities. One of the reasons I love being a realtor is that I get to watch firsthand as my clients build wealth through real estate. It's a strategy that's working well for my husband and I, and it just feels like a gift to be able to help people get started on that path, especially when they never thought it would be an option for them. I will probably always be an advocate for owning a home because I believe it's how we cure many of our social problems, from closing the wealth and equity gaps to building thriving communities. And just know that if you are working with me or one of my recommended partners, I am your guide to help you make the right decision for you. The last thing I would ever do is push you into homeownership before you're ready or if it isn't a good fit. Now, if you're ready to take the next step, download my guide in the description below or reach out to me and we'll get started. And don't forget to check back next Tuesday for my next video in the series. Talk to you soon.